Welcome to Sarasa Samut-Sarn School. This is Science Matayam 3.
Hello everybody! Hello everyone! Hope you're all doing good today. Welcome to our class. My name is Teacher Carla Circolado, and today I will be teaching the subject. So if you are ready, you can bring out your notebook, your pen, and your books, and please pay attention. Let's begin.
Let's start our lesson by reading our vocabulary words. So please listen carefully as I read the word twice, then repeat after me. Damage. Damage. Good job. Warmth. Warmth. Good job. Destruction. Destruction. Good job. Habitats. Habitats. Good job. Protocol. Protocol. Good job. Balance. Balance. Good job. Methane. Methane. Good job. Now let's do our dictation of 3 words. Get your paper or your notebook and write as follows. Don't forget to write your name. Let's begin. Number 1, spell the word damage. Number 1, damage. Number 2, spell the word warmth. Number 2, warmth. And number 3, spell the word methane. Number 3, methane. Okay, now let's check your answers. Get your red pen. If your answer is correct, please put 1. But if your answer is incorrect, please copy the correct answer beside your answer. Number 1, let's read and spell together. Damage. D A M A G E. Damage. Number 2, warmth. W A R M E D. Warmth. And number 3, methane. M E T H A N E. Methane. Very good. Good job, everyone. So for our today's topic, we are still in Unit 2, Ecology. So do you notice the changes in our atmosphere each year? Do you feel hotter each year? That is because our atmosphere is changing. And that is our topic for today. Why is the atmosphere changing? First, as you remember, we talk about the atmosphere. Atmosphere is the blanket of air around the earth. Okay? So this is the air that surrounds the earth. Okay, let's talk the first bullet. Repeat after me. People are changing the atmosphere. Very good. So it is only humans or us people causing the changes in our air or atmosphere in the world. Okay, now let's read the second paragraph. Repeat after me. People began cutting and burning the woods. Very good. So the changes in our atmosphere started when humans or people started or began cutting the woods and burning the woods. Okay, that's all it started. Now let's read the third bullet. Repeat after me. The invention of cars and other machines. Very good. Also, the invention of cars and other machineries also increases the amount of the release of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. So you remember we already talked about the carbon dioxide being too much in the atmosphere, trapping the heat onto the earth. That's why it's causing too much hotness. Okay, now let's read the fourth bullet. Repeat after me. Such machines burn fuels like wood, coal, oil, and natural gas. Very good. So when these fuels are burnt, they're adding carbon dioxide to our atmosphere, causing the heat to be trapped more. So the question is, who are changing the atmosphere? Very good. It is us, humans, or people. When did the atmosphere start to change? Very good. When people began cutting and burning woods. Also, the invention of cars and other machines. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Repeat after me. Burn fuels add carbon dioxide to atmosphere. Very good. So we know that already, that when it's burned, it added to the carbon dioxide. Okay, let's repeat after me. Methane comes from producing coal. Very good. So this is the coal. When they are making or producing the coal, it causes the increase of methane in the atmosphere. Okay. Now let's move on to the next slide. Today, the air contains 1/3 more carbon dioxide and the amount of methane is double. So today, our air contains 1/3 of carbon dioxide and the methane is doubled. Okay, so you can follow the graph right here. Methane is the blue one. So it doubled the average, and the carbon dioxide also increases. So we can see that it's really affecting the atmosphere of the Earth. Now let's move on to the next slide. So the first question that we are answering in this topic is global warming dangerous? Everybody repeat after me. Is global warming dangerous? Very good. So the first bullet says, global warming could melt the ice at the poles. So we know that the countries in the North Poles and South Poles are very cold countries because the sun is not directly hitting those parts of the world. So those countries has a massive amount of ice in their land. It also became their tourist attraction. Okay, so it says that global warming could melt the ice at their place or their country. Look at this picture. The ice are slowly been melting. Okay, let's read the second bullet. This would raise the level of the oceans. So when that happens, when the ice melts, the water will raise the level of the ocean. So meaning if this ice are melted, the water will go up here to the land. The people cannot come here because the water will raise at the land. Okay, now let's read the third bullet. People would have less land on which to live and grow food. So it means you can see people are still here, right? There's tourist attraction, but when these are all melted, people cannot live and grow food and have job here because it will all be water. It will be covered in water. So the question is, what could happen to the ice when there is global warming? Very good. The ice could melt. The level of water in the ocean will raise. And people will not have place to live and will not have food to grow. Very good. Now let's move on to the next slide. Okay, now let's read the first bullet again. If the climate changes rapidly, many animals and plants may not be able to adapt. Some species will die out. Okay, so we know that animals and plants are adapted to the climate. Meaning, if the climate changes very fast, they can die. Plants and animals can die. So let's see an example here. You see the polar bear is holding to a very small ice. So if the climate changes and the ice will melt, if all the ice in the ocean or at the poles melt, the water will become warm. And polar bears are used to living in cold places. So what will happen to them if the water will get warm? They will die. Now let's read the second bullet. Other species may spread to cooler climates, but will be struggling with species already in place. So it means when the ice all melts and the water become warmer, these polar bears need to go and spread to look for a new cooler place. Okay, but the problem is, of course, there is an animal living already there. So they will struggle to get some food because they need to fight over food. They need to fight over the place that they will stay. So they will struggle. Okay, so the question is, what happens to animals and plants if the global warming continues? Very good. If the global warming continues, the plants and animals may not be able to adapt. So some species or some of the animals and plants will simply die out. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. So the next question that we'll be answering is, can global warming be stopped? Everybody repeat after me. Can global warming be stopped? Very good. Let's read the first bullet. Burning less wood, coal, oil, and natural gas will help stop global warming. So, if we lessen burning fuels like coal, oils, or natural gases, we will help to stop global warming. So we need to stop or to lessen burning these fuels. So again, what can we do to stop global warming? Very good. Burning less wood, coal, oil, and natural gas. Very good. Next slide. Okay, let's read together. Repeat after me. Scientists recommend that people get more energy from sunlight, wind, tides, nuclear, energy, and other sources that don't burn fuel. Very good. So aside from burning fuels, there could be other sources that we can use that is not harmful to our environment. So that is the energy that we get from the sunlight. Okay, we can gather the sunlight energy using the solar panel. Okay, we can also gather the energy from the wind using the windmill. Okay, you can generate electricity to use using or gathering the wind. Also, we can also gather energy from the tides or the waves of the ocean. Okay, we've developed many equipments to gather the tidal waves. And next, the nuclear energy. Okay, the nuclear energy are free emissions, meaning they produce clean energy because they do not use or burn fossil fuel, but they use uranium. Okay, they do not produce carbon dioxide. So these are the sources that we should use according to the scientists. Okay, so can you give me other sources that we can use according to the scientists? What are those? Very good. So we can get energy from sunlight, wind, tides, and nuclear energy. Very good. Let's move on. Okay, let's read the next bullet. Scientists say trees can help prevent global warming. All growing plants take carbon dioxide out of the air. Okay, so scientists says that a tree can help stop global warming because we know that a tree breathes or take all the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So if we will have many trees or many plants around us, it will help us to absorb the air pollution or the carbon dioxide. Okay, let's read the second bullet. Scientists say vast new forests must be planted. Okay, that's what we are doing right now. We are planting many trees, many plants, so it could grow to bigger trees. So bigger trees can take all carbon dioxide, many carbon dioxide. So hopefully we can join and support this project. Again, what can help us to prevent global warming? Very good. Planting trees. It can help us to stop global warming. Okay, now let's move on. Now, what is being done? Everybody, what is being done? In 1997, officials from 160 countries met in Kyoto, Japan. They wrote an agreement called Kyoto Protocol. Everybody repeat after me. Kyoto Protocol. Very good. So this is where the 160 representatives of each countries held their meeting. Okay, the next bullet. Countries promise to burn 5% less fossil fuel, coal, oil, and natural gas by 2012. So in 2012, these 160 countries, they promised that they would less burning fuel to 5%. Okay, all these countries, they promise to lessen burning fuels into 5%. Okay, so the question is, what is the agreement called? Very good. It's called Kyoto Protocol. How many countries have joined in Kyoto, Japan? Very good. 160 countries. And what did they promise to do? Very good. They promised to burn 5% less fossil fuel in 2012. Okay. So we've already answered the questions. Now let's move on to another topic, which is the broken oxygen cycle. Everybody, broken oxygen cycle. Let's read the first paragraph. Animals and plants live in balance. If trees die, animals have less oxygen to breathe. If animals die, plants have less carbon dioxide to breathe in. Okay, so this is the oxygen cycle on Earth. The animals produces carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is breathed in or taken by the tree. When the tree takes all the carbon dioxide, it also produces the oxygen. The oxygen will be taken or will be breathed by animals and humans. Okay, so animals and plants live in balance. If many trees will die, animals will have less oxygen to breathe. If animals die, there will be less carbon dioxide for the trees, so it will not be balanced. Next, deforestation breaks the oxygen cycle. Everybody repeat after me, deforestation. Very good. So as I've said, you can see in this picture, there's no more tree or there's not much tree. That's why this animal have less oxygen. Okay, it can be harder for the animal to breathe because there's not a lot of trees that gives oxygen. So the question, what is the broken oxygen cycle again? Very good. So if trees die, animals will have less oxygen. And if animals die, there would be less carbon dioxide for the trees to breathe. That is the broken oxygen cycle. Very good. The other topic is desertification. Everybody repeat after me. Desertification. Very good. So what is desertification? If all the trees in an ecosystem die, and if erosion continues for a long time, the ecosystem can turn into a desert. This is called desertification. Okay, so let us explain. If all the trees in the ecosystem die, so if these trees die, of course the soil will be weaker, causing the soil or the land for erosion. Okay, it can be easily washed by water or be blown by wind. If that happens for a long time, this ecosystem or this environment can turn into a desert. Okay, we know how desert looks like this. Okay, and that is called desertification. Again, what is desertification? Very good. So if all the trees in an ecosystem die and the erosion will take for a long time, the ecosystem can turn into a desert. And that is what we call desertification. Very good. Next, destruction of animal habitats. Everybody, destruction of animal habitats. Okay, forests are homes to many organisms, animals, plants, and insects. Okay, so we know that in the forest, there's a lot of animals living there. Many organisms, plants, animals, insects, and other organisms. Okay, next, deforestation causes many organisms to die, not only trees. So if there is deforestation or cutting down and burning down all the trees, it's not only trees that are dying. The animals will die, the plants will die, and other insects will die too. Very good. So the question is, what happens when there is deforestation? Very good. Causes many organisms to die, not only trees, but also animals, plants, and other organisms. So for our summary, in this topic, we answer some questions. Now let's try to answer those questions again. Number 1. Why is the atmosphere changing? Very good. When people began cutting down forests, fuels are burned, it adds to carbon dioxide and methane to our atmosphere. That's why the atmosphere is changing. The next question, is global warming dangerous? Very good. Yes, if the climate changes rapidly, some species will not be able to adapt and they will simply die out. Next question, what can we do to stop it? Very good. We can lessen burning fuels and we should use more energy from sunlight, wind, tides, and nuclear energy. And vast of new forests must be planted. So we should help to stop global warming. Very good, everyone. I'm so proud of you.
So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you all learned our lesson. Good job, everyone. Don't forget to watch the friendly reminders for your safety. See you again!
Thank you so much, students. Just a reminder, don't forget to wash your hands, wear your mask, stay at home, eat healthy, and we will see you soon. You're doing a good job. Goodbye.